Alright, some of you guys told me that I should actually talk a little bit more about the process of the animation itself. So this is what we'll do in this video, which is an animation from this character of Cave Story called Curly Braces, I think it's pronounced, and we are making just a quick keyframe animation, keyframe practice, by starting off by actually doing some little poses right here, as you can see. At the start of every animation that I make, I try to focus a little bit more on the most important keyframes in the animation. As you could see here, I'm just making I think they are 4, and the first one is just the starting of the animation. Then I make hair getting a little bit of anticipation to the actual movement, which is hair leaning towards kinda the camera, and then just jumping around on the other direction, kinda like a contrary movement. And this is what we are doing right now. I tend to also focus a little bit on making some of the more loose objects like the hair or the clothes bouncing around and floating a little bit in the air, and then making the pose where she lands on the ground, But in this exact case, I'm making her getting hair gone out of nowhere, because I just thought that would be fun, I thought that would be just a little bit fun for the animation. And so the second thing that I tend to focus a little bit in this first state of the animation is to get the proportions right, As you can see in the left side of the canvas, there's this little reference that I took from Google Images. just search the character full and then full body in the Google search tab, and that's the image that you will be looking at. But yeah, as a reference. And then there's this part. As soon as I finish the actual keyframes, the most important keyframes, I tend to make a little bit more of some in-between keyframes, if that makes sense. Which in this case I'm just making just subtle movements before the anticipation animation, the anticipation movement, just so that the animation can look a little bit more fluent, And as you can see in this example, there's the second frame in the animation is very, very subtle, it's almost the same as the exact first drawing that I made in the start, but just a little bit, how do I say this, a little bit more moved towards some side or something like that, just to make the illusion that it's charging a movement or something like that, I hope you guys understand me. And so yeah, this is basically one of the most I think one of the most things that I enjoyed while I animate is to make just some in-between keyframes, so that the animation can look a little bit more fluent, a little bit more with flow, with movement, with the character just moving a little bit, in the canvas and in the animation. And so yeah, this is basically the whole process, I think. I don't know what else I should talk about in this video, because and as you could see in the previous part that I talk about the subtle movement of the first and the second keyframes, I tend to make the exact same thing, but for the end of the animations, to look like the animation finishing as smooth as possible, just making a keyframe before the actual end keyframe, or the final keyframe, sorry, just to make the animation look as clean and smooth as possible, as you could see in the start of the video. But yeah, that will be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like the actual commentary about this process of the animation. Thanks a lot to Avocado, Tobe Waffles, and to Burnout Context for being supporters of the channel by the coffee that I will not be linking in the description because it's like the end of the month. I don't think that it's gonna be like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it just paying for a shout out in this exact moment because it's the end of the month. You know, it's like there are already 2 weeks for the month to finish. So yeah, maybe at the start of the next month I will put again the link in the description. But yeah, from now on, just subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see each other in the next episode. Goodbye.